All right. Welcome back to another episode of Dylan Builds a Web App live from Tampa, Florida. Before we do that, let's do a little shout out to our sponsor for this live stream, Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp. I've had the pleasure of partnering up with Dev Mountain for almost 2 or 3 years now, and they have been not only that, I've seen some of their campuses. I've had a friend go through their program. He interviewed quite a few people there, and it's always been great to work with them and easy to work with them. It's kind of nice. But if you're interested in iOS development, you're interested in full stack web development, you're interested in quality assurance or UI UX, find out more information at devmountain.com. Housing comes with their tuition, so you can get up and go. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and actually jump into the application and get going. So before we do that, let's pull up our trusty little Trello board here, and we see what's going on. So I've actually been slacking on this. So we started building a video component, and I think yesterday we ended with a support component that how can I put it? That we organized this a little bit better. This is an outdated mock, but what we're going to do today is I think we're going to continue on down this route where we are going to organize it out. We're going to continue building out the video playlist and continue building out the video component. So with that being said, that's what we're going to do. I don't know if I actually created a video playlist component. No, I didn't. So that's kind of in progress. So we'll say video playlist. Add a card. Cool. All right. Let's jump back into the code here. As always, we want to go ahead and launch our application. Our application test. We're also going to want to launch our Git. Oh man, it's been a rough day for me, man. I don't know how y'all are doing. You ever have one of those days where you're just like, yo man, I'm just gonna work for myself? That was what today felt like. I was just like, would that really be that bad of an idea? I have to tell myself, calm down, Dylan, calm down, man. It ain't that bad, Dylan. Let me turn the AC on. So we have 114 tests, which is nice. Now, if I remember correctly, we wrote some tests, but we didn't actually go and I think we wrote some logic for our video playlist component, but we didn't actually go and update this. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can see here that we definitely have some logic that we need to test for. All right, cool. All right, we should actually, whenever you're writing tests, you typically want to do it as you go. Yesterday I was tired, man. Now I'm just angry, and angry gives you a little bit of energy. So I'm not as tired as I was yesterday. Big boy! Big Papa makes his debut. Hey, Gator. Alright, so we have our component. Video playlist component. Then we, so we're probably gonna, I don't remember if I mocked out activated route yet, or the U2 service. What's going on, Alex? Let's go check our mocks. I don't remember if I mocked this out. So it's so funny. I work in Angular, and my project's in Angular right now. And so, like, I constantly get confused with what it is that I'm actually creating a lot of times in terms of mocks. So we have our mock activated route. and like in terms of the application. And it's like, did I do that? Did I do that in this project, or did I do it in my work project? What did I do? And then are gonna have a. I don't know if I did the YouTube service. Mock YouTube service. Okay, cool. How's it going, Ali? Cool. All right, so what is the extension I use that tells you the line above is an uncommitted change and such? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about the Git in here? Or like, you're talking about in the file structure? That's just VS Code. Are you talking about this? Where you can see what you added? So like, you see this green line? This is all the stuff I added, right? So this is just part of VS Code. It's not part of anything. It's like commented out in my text editor. Oh, that's just part of VS Code, as far as I know. Yeah, it's just. Oh, it might be git blame, but I think it's just part of VS Code. So as long as you use a VS Code, that should work, and you're push into a repo. That is. VK, what's going on, man? All right, so let's start with something simple. In 4 weeks, I graduate from Web Dev Boot Camp. If I were in my shoes, what would you do to try to get in there ASAP? I would have a professional. So for one, I would highly recommend you take my 100 front-end interview question challenge. It's going to prep you for your front-end interviews and give you some tips and tricks in there. And you can get it for $10 in the description below. I'm not just saying that because I want your $10. I do want your $10. But I honestly think it's one of the best courses out there to get you prepped. I was talking with LinkedIn Learning, and I brought it up because I think it's an excellent course. It'll really help a lot of people land some jobs. Two, I would go ahead and start practicing and prepping for those interviews. I would also get a professional to look at my resume, in the sense that get a software engineer like myself to take a look over your resume. Your boot camp, I'm sure has some sort of career prep, but it's a whole different thing when you have an engineer who has filled out 100 million apps and learned what's worked, what hasn't. Secondly, I would make sure that my LinkedIn is looking sharp as can be. I would also dive into make sure that I would be willing to relocate, and I would take on certain job search strategies as you're filling out applications. All right, so let's look at our app service here. So what we're subscribing to is param, so we get this ID. Now, playlist IDs is fine. Let's look at our mock activated route. So in here we have params, so we pass in an object. So what we can do is update this dot params. So what we're looking to do here really is have this update playlist. Updates playlist. That's our one test. Like, it looks like, oh, there's a lot going on here, but there's a lot of moving pieces. What we're actually doing is just updating playlists and updating a selected video. Yeah, and the cool thing about that, you don't seem to burn out easy. I save all my burnout for my real job. Nah, we're so close, man. Yeah, JPM. There's a lot of tips in there. Also, so there's a whole tips and tricks section, if you will, of that course. That'll help you out also. There's about an hour of tips going over like, hey, here's some keys to really standing out. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say not component mock activated route dot params equals and in here we'll go ahead and pass an ID and we'll set it equal to JavaScript. And let me go back here. Yeah. So where you going, Gator? Gator? Come here, buddy. You want to say hi to everybody? Gator likes to be on camera. Come here, buddy. Come here. Get up here. Oh, big boy. He doesn't like the thunder, so it's okay. Ha. Oh, you're not big scared pup. You're not big scaredy pup. He gets afraid of the thunder. Thunder from down under. It's okay, buddy. He's gonna lay under my legs now because he's afraid. Alright, so what we're gonna expect here is that our YouTube service get playlist by ID. So in this case, our params.id, which is what that is, we are going to do a couple things. One, we want to get playlist by ID, so we need to find that mock. Alright. So, mock activated rate. Nope, we want the mock YouTube service. Gator, it's okay. Poor dog's horrified of thunder. He's a bit quieter than my dog. Yeah, he recently learned how to whine because our puppy taught him. He didn't know how to do that before. So he's probably about 11 months, something like that. She's about 4. All right, so it's okay, Gator. All right, and what we're gonna do here, this dot last playlist ID is equal to ID, and then we want to return, and what's this actually going to return? It's going to return a new playlist. All right. Where, and then in here, playlist where you have items, and then in here we'll just put in new playlist item, something like that. All right, and this will return a playlist. It's going to update our types. It's okay, Gator. All right, cool. So that's all working. We're doing all this. All right, so here we go ahead and say component.playlist is equal to null. And what we're expecting is that our component.playlist, excuse me, what we're expecting is two things. One, our mock YouTube service dot last playlist idea to be JavaScript. So let's see if that works. Does not. Oh, that's the actual ID. Yeah. That's true. We're not actually passing the key, we're passing the ID. That makes sense. Okay, so that was just me writing a bad test. Excellent. And then we're also expecting that expect that component dot playlist dot items dot length greater than 0 to be true. All right, so I think if we set that up right, what we should get back is just a can I read property? No, read property items null if undefined. All right, so I wonder if it's because we're treating this whole thing as asynchronous and we're not doing it here. So if it's a test and everything comes back as true, that works if you write your test case properly. Yeah, there's plenty of bad test cases. Like if I put if true is to true, it doesn't really do anything, does it? But yeah, that's the general idea. All right, and then for the selected video, okay, so we wrote this test, which is pretty good. We're gonna change out this logic. This is just for an example. And now that we've done that, what we need to do, go ahead and close this, is did we ever write a test for the YouTube service? I don't think we wrote any tests for the YouTube service. All right, so let's write a test for YouTube service real quick. Which means I'll probably have to mock HTTP client as well. Which is fine, but I don't think I have one yet. Oh, this is service, excuse me, let service of type YouTube service. And then here we'll set, I don't think I've built my mocks yet. Mock router, nope. new file, mock dash. But yeah, so your tests should always, your test description should try and match functionality and acceptance criteria, while your and be less technical in that aspect, and then your what do you call it? Your hey Gator. Sorry, I had to respond back to somebody. So, what was I saying? Damn it. I forgot what I was talking about. So, mock, we're gonna mock the HTTP client. Am I using the JS map object sometimes? No, not ever. I know they created all these more complex non-primitives, but the only one that I've ever used of the more complex stuff is set, and that's just for distinct values. But no, I haven't had the need to use the map object. All right, so this is going to extends the HTTP client. That'll just make our life a little bit easier. And I'll say let mock HTTP client website mock h. Actually, we don't need to do this at all. This is just going to actually make my life harder now that I think about it. All right, so cool. So what do we need from the HTTP client? Well, we need a get method. And all we really care about the get is the route that the route returns. So in our mock HTTP, create a public last route, make that a string. We just initialize it to empty. And let's have public get takes in a route, which is a string. And then that would be a promise as well. And right now, we don't expect it to return anything. So all we're expecting this is for that this dot last route to be equal to route. All right, cool. So public response, we'll go ahead and set this equal to null. And we'll go ahead and update it later. And then what we want to return is this dot response. All right, so we've created our HTTP mock. It's not too bad. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and write our test. So all we're really testing here is that our route comes through properly, which is not an easy thing to test just because it's so long. Let's go ahead and describe gets playlist. And we have a simple typo that I want to fix in a second here. This should actually be lowercase l. And now we're going to have to go in every place and fix it. And where else? Video playlist component. I think that's everywhere. Let's go ahead and close the app real quick and then just see what happens when we try to do npm test. Anytime you fix a function call that you've used, it's like everything blows up. So just fix it for me, VS Code. All right, cool. There's our test. Everything's compiling. All right, now that we've done that, sometimes when your tests blow up like that, you just have to, nope, not what I want to do. You just have to close the test suite and relaunch it because I don't know if the memory gets stuck or what the deal is. All right, cool. Don't care about that. All right, so to save myself time from typing this out, I'm going to do something I don't recommend you do, which is to console to write and expect and then actually. So you should never do what I'm about to do unless you absolutely know your code to work. But as your educator, do not do what I'm about to do when writing your tests. What I'm going to do is take the output. I'm going to take the output of this actually. Mock issue last route to be this. And then it should tell me that's not that. And I'll just copy it over because it's too long. Oh, you know, it's not a promise. So this is actually, we have to fix our mock HTTP client real quick. So this is a observable of this dot response. So, and this is not a promise. This is a observable. So is that observable of any? we're converting the observable to a promise. All right, there we go. So we have this very long thing that I didn't want to type out or spend the time doing. But don't do what I'm about to do, people. This is bad, okay? I'm not really following this. Gonna have to stick to my damage tutorials. Well, this is a lot of testing stuff. I wouldn't expect most people to be able to follow it. It's alright, though. Alright. Let's just break this up. Alright, cool. So we're testing the route, and then we're gonna test that we're gonna test that just gonna close that we get a new playlist with our response. So it's okay, Gator. Alright. Now returns playlist. Alright, so now what we're going to do is in our range, we're going to have mock HTTP client dot last dot response, and we're going to set this equal to an object, and we're just going to set some properties of playlist. We'll just set items, and then we'll put in some empty objects. It doesn't really matter. All we're really checking is that this gets passed properly in our code. So we're going to act, we're going to assert, how come Tech Lead was on that he never does tutorials? There's no money in tutorials for most people, and they're the most time-consuming things. People think that you make a lot of money from tutorials. There's really 1 or 2 people making good money from tutorials. It's hard. The tutorial game's hard, man. It's much easier to do talks about things, and that's why you see a lot of my videos where you're, you know, like I saw a tweet from Traversing Media that I completely understood, where he was upset that, not at Tech Lead, but he was upset that that he spent all this time doing progressive web app, got 3,000 views, so he's probably spent 2-3 weekends on, you know, all day on one of it. And the truth of the matter is, like, the videos he probably does where he just talks about something, hey, top 10 technologies 2019, are easier to film, they're more fun to film. Probably not more fun, but I can promise you that at the end of the day, it's one of those items where it's a hard thing to do. So I don't expect anyone to do it. How much of a cut does Udemy take from tutorials? It depends on how the sale comes through. So if you use my coupon code, so So if you use my coupon code coding God, I get 97% of the sale. 97%. If you go through their site and you just randomly scroll across it, and you're like, oh, this looks like a good course, let me take it. Udemy keeps 50% of the sale. So that's the main points. Okay, cool. So we tested our YouTube service. We fixed some things. All right. All right, launching our application here. God, I just want to get fucked up. You ever just feel like drinking? Seems so weird. Yeah, I think their platform's fine. Hey, you get the sale, you keep the majority of it. 97% ain't no joke. Hey, we get you the sale, we keep half. That's perfectly reasonable for an online item with no overhead other than time. So once you get it, one of the cool things about courses is like once you get it out there, it's there. You know, you can update it, you can put some time into it, but the majority of the time and effort is completed. So all right. Did it? If I lose internet, guys, I apologize, but it is like thundering over here. Thunder from down under. What's going on in here? Okay, cool. All right. So we have our test. Now let's see where we left the state of our application. Make sure nothing's blown up. The bad part about tutorials is they also age pretty badly. Yeah, so that's another thing is like I was talking with a guy from LinkedIn Learning that I'm hoping to build some content with. And I basically started out saying, like, I don't want to do Angular courses. Like, I'm completely qualified to do it, but I don't want to do it because it's over before it even begins. Like, it's so hard to, because Angular is updating, these frameworks update. So now when I build courses, I try to build courses, like my 100 algorithms course is something that's not going to go bad. And my front-end interview questions course is something that's not going to go bad. I always try and focus now on more reasonable things. Okay, a couple things. I don't want this to be longer than 4 or 5 videos. We'll come back to that. What I wanted... No, we won't. That's going to drive me nuts. So let's go back to our playlist component. We have our category. We have components, video playlist, component.ts. Video playlist. We'll set a max height of 550. Did you used to deliver pizzas? I delivered pizzas for about 8 years of my adult life. I want to... Yo, why isn't there a scroll, though? That's not how I thought that was going to work. Overscroll behavior Y. Wow, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Is it because of the LIs? All right, we'll come back to that. I thought that was going to be something I just throw on there, but apparently not. It's okay, Gator. 8 years. Yeah, so from the age 16 to about 24, I basically just delivered pizzas. I had other jobs, but... yeah, I mean... but here's the thing, man, is like once you get up and going, like I think when April met me, I made $12,000 or $15,000. I'll now clear probably close to 150 to 170, depending on how well some side projects do. But on the low end, I'll clear 150 this year. So, you know, in the last 5 years, from when I've delivered went from delivering pizzas, I've, 10x my income, 15x my income. So, you just gotta put time in. You'll get there, man. Okay, cool. Not cool, but I want to create routes for the new stuff. From delivering pizzas, delivering data. I don't even deliver. I mean, I'm more like formatting data on a UI and just getting frustrated for a living. That's the extent of my speaking of which, I just remembered I had to buy a URL on GoDaddy that I've been wanting to buy. How old am I now? I'm 31 years old. Five years, you'll be 32. I could potentially make the same lifestyle change. Yeah, man. I mean, you could go, even if you're not. So here's the thing. Even if you're not as successful as me, and that's fine. If you go from 22K to 60K, that's life-changing right there. 22K to 60K means you can pay off those debts that you have, hopefully start making better choices, start eating healthier. You have enough to pay for a family. You can... you're getting by. You probably get a better job where you have health insurance, you have all that sort of basic stuff. Sorry, 1 second. I'm buying a domain I wanted to buy for a side project I plan on building sometime this year. Take your dog to the vet, exactly. And here's the thing, it doesn't make you greedy for wanting more money and wanting a better life for your family. Makes you just want to have a better life. Okay, so within a category page, I think we're going to have additional views. So I'm trying to think how I want to build out these detail pages. Have a good one, Big Chungus Coding. So within our views, we're going to have another view. And this is going to be sub-category. Theoretically, I think I could, my category and subcategory pages don't look much different, but they have some different logic. But I want to set it up so that if I do change it, it's not going to be that much of an issue. Give me a second. I use JavaScript at work and TypeScript. I'm just thinking, like, am I literally only lazy loading this component? And I think I am. So I don't think I want to do this. I kind of like having this separate views and components, though. I could get by with this. Yeah, I like this. All right, cool. Now we have our category routes here. And you know, I defined some routes somewhere else in our before we do that, go ahead and write a test real quick. It exists. Do I use CSS sometimes? I primarily use Sass, but yeah, I do every day. Hey, you're welcome, Luker John, Mr. John. Hey, here's the thing, and this is what you have to understand, man, is that as long as you're taking one step forward consistently every single day, you'll get there much faster than you think you will. So, April's learning to code right now, and she's been consistent with it for the last month, 6 weeks, every single day, every single day, every single day, and it's starting to click. So you'll get there too. You just got to pull the trigger. But have a good night, man. Alright, so I gotta go find out what those routes were again. I think I did that in the breadcrumbs component. I wrote some logic. I decided what the routes were gonna be. So it's gonna be topic. God, I don't like that at all. It should category / topic. We could change that. It's really a subcategory. Let's rename this to topic. So we have category. Yeah, let's rename it topic. I want to be consistent. I was just debating if I want to change it to subcategory. I don't. So each category has a topic, has topics associated with it. Is there any difference between a software engineer and a web developer? Not really, no. I mean, typically you might have different technologies would probably usually be it, but nowadays it's pretty much treated the same. Oh, I do have I created a topic button. We ended up not using that, so we can get rid of it. I was worried about that. Components. This is like a button. Right? Yeah. Cool. Alright, all our tests run. Cool. Oh my god, that's bright. The guy who asked for a 100K raise ended up getting 50K? Good for him, man. Kevin, when you gonna hook me up with one of these fat cash money rolls that you always are talking about, dude? Come holler at your boy. All right, so let's go to our category routes here. Path :ID /topic /topic ID. Comes with a price? Yo. My sign-on bonus is yours, son. Alright, let's just put a H1 here. Put hello world. Alright, let's go back to here. It's category /JavaScript /topic /arrays. Hello world, nice. Alright. It's all about that commission. I don't blame him, man. About that dollar bills, y'all. Is that what them kids be saying? Okay, cool. All right. For the most part, for now, we're going to copy over our main category page. So let's start with this. Just put a div, give it an ID of topic - container. All right, there's that. All right, pretty sweet. The next thing we need is a header. Now this will be something slightly different. This will be let's create a header component. Because if we're going to paste this in both sections, and I think we are, we should be passing these classes in. We should be passing this description in. And that should be that. Did I get commission for my job search candidates? One of my buddies might come work with me. I just recommended another one of my buddies somewhere else. So not yet, nothing panned out. All right, let's start with this. So our header component will we'll start by clean. And I wanted to clean this up anyhow. Like I wanted to move these into their own thing. Just make this as clean as possible. So this works out. All right, so what we're gonna have here instead is app-header. Cool. And that's gonna have 3 inputs: a description, a title, I guess 4. What are some red flags you look for when you look at an applicant's GitHub? Lack of testing for me. Clean code. Following the clean code principles. It doesn't eliminate them. Oftentimes, by the time I'm looking at your GitHub, I'm already being prepared to interview you, and so by the time I'm looking at your GitHub, you already have an interview. So when I interview you, I ask about those things, because it could just be your GitHub's out of date. But I only, for the most part, interview mid and senior level candidates. All right. The hell was I doing? All right, we need a couple inputs. That's what it was. So let's close some of this stuff. Come back to topic component in a second. All right. So typically when you have more than 3 items like this, you want to treat it as a that's what I'm looking for. You want to probably pass in a single input for it. In this case, I'm going to stay at 1. Or stay at 4, but yeah, I guess I already have them, right? So yeah, let's do this. Alright, cool. So alright, cool. So we got the content. What we need to do now is style it. That should be simple enough. We just got to copy pasta some things. that. Let's see this now. All right. Cool. Now, I actually think we want to fix this. I don't think we want this to go over to the right, which is where I made a mistake in the category component. I think we want this to be a sidebar. Although, actually, you know what? We don't even want it to be sidebar. We just want it to be empty. No. Come on, dog. That ain't right. A dot's supposed to work. I don't understand why books are going wild over there. There we go. Okay. All right. Now that we've done that, this is actually, how much is this? 250 pixels? Let's go and change that then to 250. There you go, that lines up nicely. Eventually what we do is we're gonna have like a little settings thing here. All right, so that's set up nicely. We have our header component. Excuse me. That's all set up. Fix some styling. Now we have our app sidebar. All right, while we're at it, let's go ahead and fix this app video playlist. Maybe not. Vertical tabs make sense. I think I did a book. So books and changes. Whatever. I think this is fine. I definitely want to refactor some of this, but I think given what I was trying to do that this is okay. All right, so all right, next up, arrays slash topic slash arrays. All right, so that's blowing up. Why is that blowing up? So let's start there. All right, I see. Our site containers acting all wonky. All right, cool. That's fixed. So our all right, one we have a UI bug here. These are supposed to be to uppercase based on the route. So if we do something like this, let's go back to our you see as you start going down different paths of stuff how you're gonna like, oh, okay, cool, I have a bug. What do I need to I got another email I gotta get to. Okay, so in our map here, so what I don't like going on is that this topic's right. I want all this to be capitalized. And as of right now, the only thing that I know that needs to be camel case is JavaScript. So I think one thing that we can do, so that removes the hash, that fixes that. Then we map the URL pieces back. We get the breadcrumbs. Else we want to turn the URL piece. So right here, this is where we need to update our get label. Else we're going to say URL piece is equal to your URL piece 0 dot to uppercase. Let's just then here URL. I just forget slice, right? Slice 1. I think that'll do the rest of the string. There we go. So now we have JavaScript. If we go back, we have topic arrays. Everything's capitalized. Now, what we should do is I should really write a frickin' model, a test for this model. I will. I'll do it soon. I just want to get this page sort of hammered out. What are some of the worst anti-patterns you've come across? They oftentimes don't have names. A lot of it is just not obeying things like the single responsibility principle. So you'll have things where you have one component doing 7 things and it makes it impossible to work in. That's probably the biggest thing where, people don't know what they're doing in regards to that. That's the hardest part. Let's go ahead and define this. Whoa. Alright. Alright, cool. So we have that. That's all working. This would go... Oh, shit. That's a bug. That's a major bug. It's not supposed to be topic. It's supposed to... Is coding from when I get off works until I go to sleep bad? That's how you do it. April was up till 1 a.m. Coding last night. Alright, so let's look at our breadcrumbs here. Breadcrumb service. So you return the breadcrumbs. We actually want to skip every other, don't we? So first, is that right? Let's see how that works out. No, we want to... So we have JavaScript topic arrays. All right. So let's go to our breadcrumb service. Okay, so we're going to map it, and then we're going to filter it. To... okay. The problem is that we're going to do this one more time. All right. We can do it here, or piece dot includes we'll do this. Const non-valid pieces. And this will just be an array of strings. Things like category, comma, topic. So if piece.length greater than 0 or a non-valid piece includes piece. That didn't quite work as expected. So alright, so we have category, we have topic, we have arrays and JavaScript. So I want to get rid of topic and JavaScript. So in our breadcrumb service, we want to filter to pieces where the length is greater than 0 or the non-valid URL pieces dot includes oh, you know what? This is an and non-valid. Hey, Gator. There we go. So that's going to filter out JavaScript and arrays. All right, and then let's go to our breadcrumbs component dot HTML. And then we'll jump back to here. If index is greater than the URL is. Alright, so that filtered it out, but now it's blowing up right here. Oh, I see, because I shifted the first value off. There we go. Okay. So, alright, cool. So what we did was we were able to get rid of some non-valid values that were associated with that. And I think we're probably going to have this breadcrumb stuff a little bit more complicated than it should be. But I think we got it working. We cleaned it up a little bit. Let's make sure we go back to JavaScript. It all works. Yes, it does. Arrays, cool. Now let's jump back to our header. Actually, let's make sure we didn't break any of our tests. We may have broken some of our tests. Big boy! Oh, big scared puppy! Get up here. Get up. Come on. Come on. You come sit with Daddy. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're scared, puppy. It's okay. Daddy protect you. Oh. Daddy protect you. Okay, so we did break some tests. This looks like unrelated to, I think this is our model change. So in our, let's see, default general. Removes hash from breadcrumbs URL piece. So let's go to our breadcrumbs. Removes hash. So we expected this to be arrays, right? Same thing with this one. And actually, what it should be, we can go ahead and just test our logic real quick doing something like this. So we've updated our logic. And still 3 failures, huh? These still pass, which is good. Remove hash from breadcrumbs URL piece on navigation end. Breadcrumbs component. Ah, I see. So that should be 1. Expected topics to be arrays. Where's our arrays? Got having trouble finding my tests. All right, cool. Our tests are running green again. You know what? Our other tests sort of cover this test case, although it'd be good to write something for the acceptance criteria sort of stuff. Okay. All right. Already fixed the bug in our code. All right. So let's go ahead and make a quick commit here. You'd be surprised how small of a world it is, man. I'm starting to get people that I've had 2 now of my last 6 interviews where people have recognized me from like YouTube and stuff like that, which is pretty funny. God. Okay. Everything's good in the neighborhood. All right. Not what I meant to do. Wrong one. All right. Now that we've done that, the next thing we need to bring over is the header into our topic. All right. I think we already did this actually. We're gonna need pretty much all of this. For now, let's just pass this. Leave that there. Come to here. We're gonna need activated route because we're gonna need to get the parameters. We're gonna need a category service because we're gonna add on to that. We're gonna need on the net. So we're gonna update it. A lot of this is gonna be very similar. Makes me almost think of creating a core component, but I don't. It gets a little dirty. What's not gonna be is this. We're not gonna have an ID, and we are going to have a topic ID. All right, so before we move forward, this will be update topic data. We can just call it topic. I think that's better. We don't need the data on there. All right. All right. Cool, we got a race. And we have our ID as well. Now what we need to do with that is get our relevant data, everything that makes sense, and connect it through. So just for the sake of making this easy on us, we're going to do topic. Actually, well, first we're going to do category. And this, we'll do type category equal new category. Alright, so that should stop this from blowing up. Cool, it's not doing anything, it's just not blowing up. And you know what? We do have it there. Alright, so that's coming through. Our route's subscribed. Just put that as any for now. I'm not sure what that data model is going to look like quite yet. So our category service is going to have a get category topic, I think is what it's going to be. So if we go here, This will be category ID, which will be a string, and then this will be topic ID, which will be a string, and then return. All right. Alright, so it's okay to update that. Here, we'll save that. I'll come back to our... Hey, boy. All right. All right. Oh, how are we on time? We got about 20 minutes left. All right. So we're getting kind of pretty close to the point where after I mock out this topic, we need to get together and figure out how we're going to sort of looking for design this application in its entirety. All right, so we have the header here. There's some CSS we need to do for that. Now that we have that, we can do app-header. Make this a grid-area of header. And then we can add another line right here. Header dot. Why is that applying CSS? I think what I may do eventually is have a style sheet that I share between these two components that I inject. Because you can inject multiple style sheets. And that may just be better. We'll have like a shared one. I think that might be better. There we go. Alright. Still same thing, except we're only maintaining on one slot. That's much better. Alright, now what we have to do is we have to... This is fine, but... I think that's fine for the header, and then we want to have a description for what goes on next. So let's just look at our category page. You know what? I think I want to swap this JavaScript out with arrays and then put a description for arrays, like a very brief description. Alright, so there's a lot of wonky ways that we can do this. I mean, the easiest way is to do something like this. This dot title, or this dot category dot title is equal to topic ID. Yeah. Eventually, what's going to happen here is I'm going to have this come from an API. And then I'm going to have to refactor this. But I'm somewhat okay with that. Alright, and then the issue is with the description. So like, yeah, let's not do it this way, because now we how do we get the description? We're just gonna hard code something here? Like, no, of course not. We're gonna have to get that from some sort of service. All right. So we'll say this dot topic is equal to, and we'll await this as well. This dot category service. Get category topic. In here we're going to take in the, let's change this to, it's still an ID comma topic ID. So the reason I want to do it like this is that this is going to be, we don't need it to wait on this. And we'll pass in category ID of type string, topic ID of type string, and what do I want to do for this one? All right, so that's good. We're updating both those. All right, what we need to do is find how we're gonna set this get category service up. How did I mock it over here? God, I hate that I mocked it like this. So we passed it an ID, passed it whatever. What are we expecting to get back? Alright, this might be a battle for another time. We only got 10 minutes left. So, yeah, what I have to do is just mock out a get category topic of what I would expect from the service. And it's going to be very similar to our categories.javascript. Honestly, I'm considering just returning categories.javascript. But one thing that we can do... Alright, one thing we're definitely doing, because now that I'm going to use it in 2 spots, I can't deal with the fact that it's a little too hacked together. We're gonna make this app courses, and this should be relatively easy to do. So if we go to our courses component, which is part of our shared, we're gonna refactor these two. We're gonna refactor this, make each one of these individual components. It's pretty clean at what it's at, but we can still make it better. And then we have to figure out how we're gonna do this mock service, and then we're just gonna set this page up for arrays. And then we're good. The array page is going to look very good. Thoughts on Atom versus VS Code? I've used Atom, I've used Sublime, I've used VS Code. I happen to like VS Code much better than anything I've ever used. So ever since I used VS Code, I've stopped looking for better text editors. When I use Atom, I use brackets, and I've used Sublime, all that sort of stuff. I kept on looking for a better text editor. You know what I mean? Like every month, every couple months, hey, I wonder if there's something better for this. Turns out there is. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's see if we can get some testing real quick before I get too far down the rabbit hole. Oh, you know what we could do real quick? We could break everything real quick and change this to what I want it to be, which is category ID. This is a short-sighted thing on my end. And I bet you anything, our tests blow up. I know one spot's gonna blow up. I'll fix. Topic component dot spec dot ts. Oh. Test 1. Test 2. Alright, let's go to category dot component. I think this is the only other place that we're doing it. Alright, one test failed. Undefined to be JavaScript. Category component updates category. I bet it's our mock. updates category component. Let's restart these tests real quick. There we go. Cool. All right. I think that's a good place to end on. If you guys haven't checked out my latest courses, the 100 Algorithm Challenge, help you prep for those whiteboard technical interviews. Give that a shot. You can get it for $9.99 in the description below, and you can get my other my latest course, the 100 Front-End Technical Interview Questions Challenge, for just $9.99. Has almost a perfect score on it. People are loving it. Help you prepare for those front-end technical screens. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think next time when we get back, I'll have to do a little bit of thinking how I'm going to break out, just really mock this array for a second, this topic data set. We're going to set up that page, which is going to be identical for the most part to what we're expecting for the what am I talking about? For the topic page as the category page. And we're going to set that up, and then we're going to do it one more time for the detail page. I'm setting up as currently they're identical, but they won't always be. And so as we define it, I'm just going to build it out that way. And then once we get that out, there's some tweaks, some minor stuff, and then we obviously have to make it mobile responsive and all that sort of stuff. But we're getting pretty close. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Check out the courses.